a million tries to get through. Nobody knows me like you do. And I am ready. Just take a look around. I feel steady. My feet are on the ground, and I'm still hiding behind the sound. There are places you can only go alone. I've been there and back, and I know that I have grown. A million miles from what I knew. Nobody knows me like you do. And I am ready to make the kind of change. I am ready to fall for that again. And I'm steady. Just take a look around. I'm here this time around. When you find yourself somewhere you know you don't belong, well, I've been there and it's good to know it's gone. I walked a twisted trail to find you. Nobody knows me like you do. And I am ready to make the kind of change. And I'm ready to fall for that again. I feel steady. Just take a look around. I am here this time around. I am here.
That's nobody knows me like you do. That's our friend George Millette from George Millette Music. Check him out. You can see there that you can actually download that album. It's a great album, and it's called "I'm a Ghost in This Town." There's a couple of other videos that are out on YouTube that we posted as well that are off that album. Again, George Millette, great guy, great musician from Oshawa, Ontario. And Bob's going to be joining me here in a second. Bob's on the line with me tonight, and we're going to talk about a few things. I said, can AI replace musicians? Can AI replace the music industry as we know it? Well, we're going to talk about that and a few other things tonight on tonight's show. So hang in with us. Here's Dick Munch. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good. You guys are heading down for that big freeze down for this weekend, the Christmas weekend. We're supposed to get a big freeze down. Are you going to get snow too?
Definitely gonna have a white Christmas. White and cold.
Have you got dumped on yet?
Not
Did
yet.
You guys get dumped on already?
About 3 more hours.
Oh,
3 more hours till it hits. Supposedly.
we yeah, ours is supposed to start out sloppy tomorrow. We're supposed to start out with rain and then a flash freeze from rain to snow.
Well, that's always fun.
That's never a good thing around here, because when you get that heavy snow, when it freezes on electric wires,
Ooh.
you know,
Right, yeah.
wires break and you get power outages and shit like that, eh?
Yeah, don't I don't, uh, I don't want a power discussing my snowblower earlier.
It sucks. Your blower's sucking.
Well, get this, and it won't
Oh,
start either.
oh Jesus. Same problem, I bet you. I'm gonna bet you it's
Same
the same
problem.
problem.
I don't use them enough to keep them alive, but I shouldn't have to.
No,
Anyway,
I
going back to the opening song by George Bett,
yeah.
did you hear a little bit of a Caribbean influence in that in the melody?
Yeah, I could be like down in Jamaica smoking a joint listening to that tune.
Well, I I just have I was thinking about, man, I almost hear a steel drum in that somewhere. Just my 2 cents
Well,
worth.
if and when I listen to the toning on the toms, when he hits the toms, it has that kind of sound to it almost. The way
Yeah,
that
that ringing. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's intentional. It's to give it that
Yeah.
I don't know. There's definitely a Caribbean flavor. Um, you got to listen to this guy's music. It's a great album. It's well written. There's 11 songs, I believe, on it, and every song is well written. It's you heard that recording. How well is that?
Wonderful. Excellent job. You could hear everything. There's plenty of and, I don't know. I would think you could probably submit that to a few radio stations.
Would you play that? Would you play it?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, because
Absolutely.
it's not your typical sort of rock genre, but I mean, you go on the website and listen to the whole album, Bob. It's on there, and you can
Yeah.
listen to the whole album for free on my website, and it's
Buy the
all we up. Well, you know what? If you want a special edition of it, I will send you. I will send you a special edition of all 320 kilobit downloads if you want.
No, that's cool, man.
There.
Knock it down. I gotta knock it down anyway.
Okay, so everything that's up on the site now is at 192.
Cool.
And we went to the 192. We went to 192 kilobits because everybody else, if you you know, Spotify and all the others, they compress everything down to like 128. And
Actually,
190.
I'm supposed to be using 128 on Live 3 server, but I don't.
You know what? And you shouldn't. You shouldn't. It 192 is a really nice cutoff. You know,
Yeah.
rather than and the files are half the size of what they are if you go to 320. So the nice thing about that is that you get, you know, 2 for 1 on every song that you compress on there. So, you know, 100 megabytes for an album, maybe.
Yeah, and a word out to music to radio stations. Most of us are under a storage cap, and we have to knock it down to 192. So, you know, if you're sending file 320 or whatever, we just have to knock it down anyway.
Yeah. So, you know, the thing is that if you're looking to get your music on 24/7 servers, then probably one of the best ways to submit it out is going to 128 right off the hop, because it's going to get squished there anyway.
Yeah. Higher than 192. I get a ton of now are 320,
Yeah, no,
but I
most
have to knock
people.
them down.
Yeah, most people are rendering in 320 as opposed to 192. But you know what? Here's the thing: is that there's been tons of research done on the frequency ranges between 192 and 300 and 320. You'd have to be wearing $2,500, $3,000 reference headphones to hear the difference.
Yeah. Well, if you
The
want
average the average listener, I mean, think the average listener who's listening through earbuds, right?
yeah.
You know, then there's audiophiles like you and I who listen through headphones and reference monitors and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, for your fan base, whatever you wanted, lossless files or whatever, but radio stations in go any higher than 192.
And so did you have anything tonight that you wanted to discuss on the show? I got a couple of items.
No, I sent you that AI article from Daily News Fart Face.
Daily News fart face.
I forget the name. I can tell you right now, watch this. The beauty of bookmarks. Uh, digital music news is the website.
Oh, digital music news. Okay. And what are they saying on there?
They're talking about
What are they,
using AI to compose and record music. Actually, what they were referring, there was a company that was doing a soccer thing, and so for the jingles, AI to produce this music, but they also there is a song on Spotify, on TikTok, AI, and it's got over 100 million streams.
right. Right. Yeah, the whole AI thing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. They also used AI for the Japan Olympics, right? For creating their theme song for the Japan Olympics
Yeah.
when the Olympics were held in Japan.
So
So,
is there a place for that? There could be. I don't think avenue of creating hit music with AI could put it on Spotify. I think that's terribly wrong.
right. No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. That. Oh God, stop it. Where I first came across this was this guy I subscribed to called Venus Theory. Have you ever watched any of his videos?
Nope.
And so he's got some really interesting stuff on there, and this was his hook on his video was how AI might make a lot of musicians irrelevant, right? And he goes on to talk about the different ways that they're talking about, being able to use AI. But here's the interesting thing, because he talks about the difference between, AI, which has no soul, right? Right. It's a cold, heartless piece of, software, whatever,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't.
How can AI sing the blues when they've never suffered?
It's emotion, right? I mean, there's emotion and there's
Right.
soul that's in music that how can AI hope to attempt to do that? And then when I look at some of these articles that talk about the AI, who is AI learning from in the first place?
In a cubicle?
I don't know. I mean, think about it. How does AI
Well,
learn in the first place? It has
they're
to learn from
they're
something.
using samples from actual music, recorded music. How
Right.
they build off of that.
Right.
But
So here's the thing. It can imitate it, right? You can imitate it. It's the same as you can imitate another artist's work. That's why we have cover bands, right?
right.
And some are good, some are not so good, right? And what makes them not so good, I guess, is that they're so far away from what the original was. It's inspireless. It's not inspiring, right?
Yeah, they can't territories music wise because they don't have anything to learn from. Only humans
Right.
can do that.
Right. And
First, the very first band, the AI to break it in the mainstream, imitation vanilla.
That's a
Yeah,
good one. Imitation Vanilla. That'd be a good name. That'd be a good name.
it would be.
Oh man. I mean, the whole thing is that AI, I mean, I get that AI learns, right? And that it can replicate things. And some of the AI, I don't know if you've seen some of the AI still art stuff. It does some really, it makes some really, really bizarre photographs now. My son downloaded one of those AI apps on his phone. You know, you say
Uh-oh.
something into your phone, then it draws a piece of art based on words.
Really?
Yeah, but while
Yeah.
it's doing that, it's referencing the internet for, it's called neural pathways on the internet. So it's analyzing data that's out there on the internet, and it's building that picture based out of voice recognition, listening to what he's saying, and then looking for anything that displays that on the internet.
Yeah, sponsored by Google.
And then
Yeah.
it draws a. I think it is a. I don't know if this one's a Google one or not, but Google does have one. Google's
Oh,
Magenta. Have you heard of
yeah.
that?
Yeah. Right. Rick says AI is better than disco.
Oh, we got to go there. I love that. Good one. Good one. The soul of the machine. AI is better than disco. Well, I guess maybe. Good comparison though, man. What do you think about that? AI and disco. How are they similar or dissimilar? Or dissimilar?
You know, disco was the frontier of formulated music. It makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, though, I think it's kind of funny, but I mean, when I look at some of the AI stuff, but it's interesting when I look at the photographs that represent, or the photo images that represent Google's Magenta, because it's the shape. It's almost an effeminate shape fembot. It's a robot's face. Here, I'll share this with you because you can look at it on the screen. So let me just see if I can figure this out. Hang on a second. You got any thoughts on that?
Sure. I think Rush and what would you call a prophecy of
Right.
that could be our future or the future.
I'm just gonna drop it over on this screen. It's so much easier to do it that way. So here it is. Here, I'm gonna share it with you right now. So there's the photograph of Google's Magenta. That's sort of the the visual replication of what it is. It's in the shape of a human,
Of course, those
right?
unoriginal bastards.
Yeah, I mean, look at like it's even got a neural network up and down the neck like your spinal cord, right? Right? And it's almost the the face on it, right? Got that chiseled chin.
Yeah, it's
Kind of an interesting
got
photograph.
it's for the jaw too.
There you go. Anyway, I had to show that to you because I'm thinking, why is it AI that, then they make AI out to be in the shape of a human being or the image of a human being?
Yeah, why can't it just be a black box?
Well, it's essentially that's what it is. I mean, you can stuff all that, all those guts into a black box and
Uh-huh.
have it sit on the table, right? And it could speak to you. Like we got one of those already. Don't they call them, what do they call those things? Google, whatever. Those little Google things that you can set on a table and it plays music and shit like that.
Oh, the Google, what is their version? The X
Google Home,
Google
something like
Home, I
that.
guess. Yeah, that would be it.
Well, it's
Do
interesting because
battles.
I'm worried about Google spying on me, because this past summer we put a new
Oh, that's
furnace.
horrible.
We put a new furnace in. When they put the furnace in, guess what the maker of the thermostat is? It's a Google thermostat.
Nest.
It's a Google
Yeah.
Nest thermostat, right? I can hook up to it with my iPhone, and while we're away, I can turn the temperature down in the house and then have it turn it up, 15 minutes before we get home.
Oh, that's fine and everything. That's really convenient, but
Stupid.
they use technology to spy on you. They use that to
I'm sure
gather
they
all of your
are.
information. It's wrong, I think. You know what? I'm going to get one of those.
I run
Those.
around the house. That's okay. I wrap my body in tinfoil. I'm good.
There it is. Somebody makes a pouch for cell phones. That's everything when you want privacy. I'm thinking about ordering one of those.
Yeah, there's software you can get that can actually block it, block the signal out.
Is
So
there? I know there's VPN.
yeah, there's different things. I mean, who knows, right? But I mean, this whole business of the AI thing has got me a bit fascinated in the sense that it can create art, but I don't, I mean, I think there's a huge difference between the still art that it actually can create, right?
Yeah.
And they got some photographs on this AI stuff. It creates some interesting still photography based on the suggestions that you make to it. And I told you about that one where you can talk into it and then it generates a photograph sort of based on that. Here, I'll see if I can slide that over there. I think this was it's in a
Google, do you hate Alexa?
what? What is that?
She's not talking to me. Let me try another one.
Alexa, you using Alexa? And throw this one up here. So this is some art that these AI things generate based on. You can see like the Mona Lisa a little bit askew there on the right hand side, but there's some different interpretations that the AI makes off of what it's reading in the data, which is kind of interesting, right? It's kind of cool, and some of that art makes some interesting art or makes some ideas for interesting art. So in terms of replacing artists, it could also be thought of because I mean technology is here to stay, right? I mean we're not going to get rid of it. Could AI be considered a tool?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's going to rein it in, right? So once you let it out, the Pandora's box is, you can't just limit AI because, like you said, technology is here and people are going to start developing it.
Yeah, and I think the thing is that technology doesn't have to be, this deep dark nasty thing that we fear. We could actually, you know, think about it is something that it's the input that we provide it. I mean, yeah, it might have different ways of thinking and interpret what we're doing, but it's all been done before. Don't you think?
Has it been done before?
Well, I don't know. Is there anything that's really, really new or unique, right? I mean, the whole business of learning machines has been around for decades, right? I think they started, the idea of learning machines, or the notion that machines could do learning, was back in the 1800s. Yeah, there's theories that run back hundreds of years, in terms of, remember the earliest calculators that they came up with?
Uh,
Remember the old calculator Remember the old calculator that they used to use for, in the back? You'd have the guy in the back doing the books, and he had the calculator and the thing to roll it, because you had to
oh
print it
yeah,
out on a little screen,
yeah,
right? And then we went from those simple adding machines to calculators that would do everything, right? So I mean, could AI be considered a tool for some ideas? When I looked at the different interpretations of art that it came up with, it could just be one of those things that's a cool thing. I'll paint that,
yeah,
right? I'm still a painter, and I'll paint that, but I'll paint my own variation of what I'm seeing. And that's the difference between humans and AI, is that we have all these unique senses that I don't think AI can duplicate, right? you know, I think that there are huge implications for it, just like there's been huge implications for everything. And we're stuck with the digital age, man. We're there, right? I
yeah,
think it's a lot of how we use it. Well, I
yeah.
mean, you look at it. I mean, we've entered the digital age. I mean, it took record companies, what, 10 years to figure out digital and how to manage it, and they still don't really know how to manage digital.
No,
I mean, if the music industry could figure out how to handle digital, why are there so many companies out there that actually go, okay, why are there so many companies out there that can actually, I don't know. It just makes no sense to me.
well, there's nothing we can do about it. And musically, I think it's wrong, and maybe it's a good thing they're making a big deal out of being able to write and record and score music, because now we know who the phonies are for sure, and that only helps the underground scene. I think people crave the real stuff. People will always crave the real, from the heart kind of music. And so, as far as AI creating songs do that, we know what the real stuff is, and people will always be drawn to it.
And here's the interesting thing, that I find some of the best art that I've ever heard, like independent music, that I've ever heard, are not from artists who are hungry for money. They're
Right,
hungry to be heard,
right.
right? Their motivation is not, they've given up on the notion that I'm going to get rich doing this, right? They've given up on that notion. That the notion is, I just want people to get my music out in front of them. I want to get my music in front of as many people as I can. And if they think it's of value, they're going to pay for it.
Well,
You
yeah, I
think?
suppose. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think,
still sells really well. I don't know why my thing didn't appear in the comments section. That's some BS right there.
you know what?
Anyway,
This is the BS of using this software. Um, I have people on here saying hi to me. Evening, gents. Evening, Keith Hill. Thanks for joining us tonight. Um, and it won't let me respond to him. When I go over to the side to respond to him, it wants me to block him. I don't want to block him. I want to talk to him. I want to send him back a message saying, "Hey, thanks for joining us tonight." Right?
Right. So we
Anyway,
gotta acknowledge everybody. Well, your comment
yeah,
showed up there on the side.
yeah, I did. I sent a one out there just using his name and thanking him for joining us. And hey, so here's an interesting thing. So this whole digital thing, when things first went digital, it took record companies, and still they haven't got the thing figured out, because I was just about to say there are so many royalty collection agencies out there that if you think the music industry had things completely sorted out, why do you have to have so many agencies out there that are collecting royalties? Wouldn't there be just one place where royalties are processed and then it gets dispersed from there? Yeah, I love it. I love it. We've taken care of everything. The words you read, the songs you sing, the pictures that give pleasure to your eye. One for all and all for one. We work together, common sons, never need to wonder how or why. Yeah, we are the priests of the
See,
temples of Syrinx.
Rush actually penned a prophecy, because that's what it's going to come down to. Just be
Neil
jealous.
actually got that.
Yeah. Wow. We'll just be
Neil
like pieces of
understood that.
Jello
I
on the
mean,
couch.
have you read any of Neil Peart's books?
No. Do they have
I highly
pictures?
recommend you do, man. Well, you know what? It had an interesting thing. It wasn't him, and I wish it was him that had narrated him, but I got a gift one year, all of his books on Kindle, and they're audiobooks, and I just listened to them. Man, the way that guy describes, the guy that he got to narrate the book is actually a very good narrator, and he uses inflections on certain words that you would swear it was Neil sharing the story, right?
Hmm.
Really well done.
I don't have time for that. Reading.
Oh man. Yeah, so I mean, I think that because digital is here and it's here to stay, and even though it's imperfect, we've got to figure out a way to make it work. And there's those of us every day that are out there slogging it, doing it, right? We're trying to make digital work and make sense for artists every single day. At least that's my daily grind.
Well,
Is I think how many producers does it take to make an album?
12.
And that's 11 people to hold it and one person to put the record in it, right? Something like that. Oh man, crazy. But there is some interesting parts of AI that are working, or robotics that are actually working really well. So there's a company that I deal with, and they're in the U.S. and they press vinyl and they press CDs, and it's all done in a robotics factory. So your order right off the hop goes to a robot. They send you out a test pressing, make sure that everything is hunky dory, the labels are right, and thank God they do that, because the first time I ever did the service, I didn't follow their fucking their templates, and I put my own template in there, and the label was all wonky.
Oh man.
So thank goodness they send you a test pressing so you can make sure that you've got the art just so. But they have a foolproof thing now. You can't paint outside the lines on there no more. They fix that. So you have to use everything. Your art has to be formatted exactly on their templates. And then they cut all the stickers out. They do the laser labels on the vinyl and everything. It's really cool how they do this. But
Yeah, that'd be
all done
interesting to see.
robotically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love a tour of it, as well as I would love the tour of Third Man Pressing. You ever heard of Third Man Records in Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
Owned by Jack White. We're doing a limited pressing at Third Man right now for Helix. They're doing it's actually a Brian Vollmer album. It's his first solo project that actually is weird. It got put out originally as an album for Helix, but it was never meant to be a Helix album. And there's a big story behind why it ended up being a Helix album. And there's some tragedy surrounding that as well. So I know that Brian and I'll be talking about that story at some point in our series. We've got a monthly series that him and I are doing now. It's my journey into the world of music to Helix and beyond. So it's a docu-series. Check it out. We're doing that once a month. And Bob is been one of the steadies here from Code Zero Radio at WCZR, Code Zero Radio in Appleton, Wisconsin. The home of some of the best. You're prejudiced. You're gonna say the best, right? The best rock.
Of course.
Yeah. You've got an excellent curator there now too, right?
Yeah. Andy's doing a great job.
Yeah, Andy is like, I think he's the consummate curator.
Yeah.
Of your music on your station. Like he's paying attention to a lot of stuff, and is he doing all the curation himself, or are you still got your fingers in the pot?
Well, I'm putting in the new submissions, and he is adding stuff that he knows about. I explained to him what I wanted the station to sound like, and he kind of fit the bill as far as content. So he's kind of throwing in his stuff, and I'm throwing in the submissions, and it all meets in the middle.
And you might as well put a plug in for Andy's show while you're at it. I mean, he's part of your family there at Code Zero.
Yeah, I'm trying to get people and give a like to Fox YouTube, which he does every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central. It's a video interview series that he does with local artists, and he does such a good job. And algorithms bank. So I've been trying to get people to go there and just hit the like button. Plus, you can watch all the
and if you
videos.
You guys, is it your channel?
No, it's Fox Cities Core.
So is that the channel? Fox Cities Core is the channel on YouTube?
Correct. Yeah. But you
right.
can watch it live every Saturday morning.
To it. Yeah. So if someone subscribes to the channel, then they'll automatically get a notification, right? When they go in live.
I think you can bell if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we ask people. We have people that follow us on YouTube who have us on there as a notification. So when we go live here on the show, they're often watching through YouTube. And if I had my druthers, I'd probably go solely through my. I'd probably cut Facebook out altogether down the road. I really don't like their platform at all. I really don't like their platform at all.
No.
Yeah. Are you guys going to sing or what? No. I really don't like Facebook's platform at all. Unfortunately, there's people that follow us here that don't follow us on other platforms, and so that's the reason that I show it here. But if I had my druthers, we would be broadcasting right off my website because there's tons of bandwidth there.
Right.
And then what we would be doing is bouncing that to Twitter and to YouTube and to Twitch. Those would be the main three that we'd be broadcasting to, because I think those are platforms that don't screw with our content. I hate it when people screw with my content. I just don't like it.
couple of days. They
Right.
seem to be minded about content, and it's basically platformed like YouTube. Speaking of which, what would stop? Check this out. I've been thinking about this. What would creating like a YouTube channel, right?
Yep.
7 programming on there, just like a TV station. And you could have live shows,
I don't
and
know
then you
why
could
you
have
couldn't.
recorded shows.
I don't know why you couldn't do that.
Use just use YouTube as your like you're just way you wouldn't have to have a studio set up except for your live stuff.
So you're talking about broadcasting 24/7?
Yeah, just have it like
Wow. 24/7. That'd be a lot of work, man.
well, it
You need a
would
lot
be.
of content.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be a lot of work. You could all the time. Just a few select shows could be live,
Yeah, and you could play a
but
lot of the video off you could play the video off servers.
sure.
Yeah. So the
It'd
non-live
be like
stuff, you could
music.
play it on server. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. There's an idea, man. Well, we're working on that. We're working on that on indietunes.com. What we're doing there is right now it's solely download, but you can actually stream. We're actually working on the backdrop for the streaming service that we want to eventually develop for the website. Once we get 1,000 or so artists on that have joined the family, because the more titles, the larger the library, the more you have to offer people, and then hopefully people start jumping more on board, and we end up with I'd love hundreds of thousands of titles where people could go to my website and just find independent music.
Yeah.
And independent music that's curated from all over the place, right? Where you've got music that's there are artists that get played on Code Zero Radio that are on our website, right? And
Keith is bowing out. See you, Keith. Thanks for here on the show.
yeah, thanks for joining us,
Have
buddy.
a great holiday weekend.
Yes. Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. Eat a lot of turkey.
Turkey.
Hey, you know what? Have you ever had chicken pizza?
No.
Grilled chicken pizza is actually pretty good. I never thought I'd ever say that, but we had it one night at a bowling alley. Bob says, that's sacrilege. That's sacrilege. Grilled chicken pizza. What the hell is that?
Thrown on there is pineapple. They don't have to disown you altogether.
Oh man. Oh, you don't like pineapple on pizza?
No, not on pizza. No. No.
You know what? Try pineapple with pepperoni. It's so good.
No.
It is so good.
I will not.
It's like, do you like peanut butter and chocolate?
Not especially.
Oh, okay.
I think peanut butter needs to take a seat. Put peanut butter in everything. You can't buy a candy bar
Oh man,
without peanut butter in it.
There's a lot of peanuts around, I guess.
Yeah, they're expensive too.
Yeah, well,
expensive.
I know peanut farmers don't work for peanuts, man. Oh man. Okay, so this AI thing, I think we kind of milked that for kind of all of it was worth. I mean, was there anything else that you wanted to add to the conversation?
Not really. I just whatever they're gonna, and I think they're just gonna expose themselves for being the phonies that they are. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now that there is of rock because I see a lot of younger people on Instagram putting up reels and clips and they're playing straight up rock and roll. And so I think once again, humans are yearning for that real thing, that something you could feel. And I saw a problem with the AI thing.
Yeah, there's a group of young kids they've been on Facebook. They do a whole bunch of different covers of different bands. Have you seen them?
A bunch of them.
There's one. It's a young group of kids. There are like four of them. They're from Windsor, Ontario. They're music conservatory students, or at least a music school students,
That's too bad.
and they formed a band. They formed a band, and they cover a lot of different artists. And every time I watch them, they seem to be getting better and better. Right. So it's kind of it's
Yeah.
encouraging to see young kids that are that are imitating that stuff. These kids are probably going to go off and start writing their own stuff eventually because they play these cover tunes so well. I think, yeah, they're probably going to go off and end up doing some cool original stuff down the road. Well,
But
there's a lot of bands that got their start doing that, right? They a lot of them did not go straight into the bars or the places they were playing, you know, and right away play all their own original music.
Rick says, check out Shut Up and Kiss Me from Romania. I think
Yeah,
I've
there you
heard of
go.
them.
Shut Up and
And
Kiss Me.
that's a good point, Rick, is the scenes in like Romania, the scenes, yeah, especially the southern part, total rock scene, man, total rock scene going on there, and they're digging it, and they're using their voice to they're using their voice to express their positions in society and stuff like that. So there's around the world. They just need a place to incubate all of this stuff, and I think maybe that's where we come in. Is we should harvest this stuff and start giving it
Right.
some exposure.
Right. There's a band that I followed. Actually, somebody sent them my direction, but they have their own ideas about where they want to go and what they want to do, and I don't think they're quite ready to work specifically with one person yet. The band's called Cardang. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
They're where you look them up on Facebook. They got 3,000 followers. They got a pretty decent following, and they're Norwegian.
Cool.
Yeah, and they're a rock band from Norway, and so like you need check them out, man. Cardang is the name of the band. Some pretty good rock music, actually, and I think that they're looking to break out of the European market. I think because they think they're going to find an audience someplace else, and I believe that they will. I think they'll find an audience. They've got quite a few listeners on Spotify. And so whatever they're doing, keep doing it, right? There's a good chance you might not need to work with anybody. And if you're really passionate about running your own show, that's always the ultimate. But I mean, sometimes it's really, really hard to do it all. And eventually people get to the point where they go, I can't do this. I can't, maintain the momentum of writing music, recording music, producing music, and getting it out there, plus playing live shows, and then do the whole business side of all of this.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I just
That's
threw up
kind
a
of
link.
that's kind of where we come in.
I just threw up a
What do you
Instagram
got
link
there?
for a band called Band 24. Kids,
Okay.
really extremely tight. They play great cover music, and I think they play. That's one of the many that I've Instagram stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my discoveries either come off Instagram or they come off of rarely Facebook anymore,
Yeah.
mostly YouTube.
Isn't that strange? Facebook is like a desert.
Well, it's funny. The stuff that I find on Facebook ends up being a lot of the sponsored stuff,
Right.
right? Or you find some decent stuff, but you got to
Mm,
go through a ton of it to find good stuff in the reels. And I find that because some artists are thinking like creators now, right?
mhm.
They're um they're becoming a little bit more creative on their YouTube channels as well,
Right,
right?
right. Yeah, I used to
And
use
and
Twitter
and
a lot, and, lately it's been almost all Instagram. Ugh.
yeah, and I was saying at the top of the show, you know, George Millette, he's got 597 subscribers on his YouTube channel, and that number continues to grow. And he posts everything from original stuff to covers that he does, and he puts out regular content on Facebook, which is really really kind of cool. I haven't asked him yet if he's got an algorithm for when he puts stuff out, but he does put stuff out on a fair to regular basis. And he does some really really cool covers. Like there's one where he does a cover of Treetop Flyer by Stephen Stills, right?
Cool.
And yeah, and he does a whole lot of other things, stuff where he just there's another one that's really I thought was really good. It's got the background of Algonquin. It's called Algonquin Free, and it's on his YouTube channel. But go on there. He's got a whole bunch of different covers that he's done of different artists over time, and he's got the watchership is not in the high numbers, but he has a lot of faithful people that keep coming back and watching his stuff, and he's growing his brand, which is really I think is a really smart thing on his behalf, doing the YouTube thing, because he's helping to grow his brand. And we talked about it when I decided to work with him on his album, because he published the album, and then he said to me, he said, I don't like the fact that I did this, because I don't know anything about this, and I don't really want to have to be responsible for it. So we talked, and I said, pull that sucker down, and let's put this out a different way, and let's try something different in terms of launching your music and getting it out in front of people. And so that's his name. It's not a stage name. It's George Millette. That's his real name. And you know, the music is well written. You just got to listen to it for sure.
Does
That
he What do you think about Patreon for artists?
you know what? Patreon is not a super bad idea. I think they collect a certain percentage off the top, don't they?
Do.
Yeah,
I just seen some
here's
artists
a
be fairly successful with that.
Patreon is good, because Patreon has I believe some marketing software that they allow you to use to be able to market your stuff. So not a bad
Oh,
idea. And some YouTube channels are getting good funding through Patreon, because they find regular people that keep coming back. Patreon's one version of that. Another one is PayPal Me.
oh yeah. Haven't heard of that.
Yes. Yeah, so you can set up a personal PayPal account as an artist and link it to your site, and people can donate to your works through PayPal Me, and it goes straight into your PayPal account in whatever currency
Ah,
that they
cool.
want to send it. And it goes by whatever currency gets sent, right? So if it's European currency, it goes in European currency, and it all gets converted to USD, right? So
Nice. Nice.
not a bad
Saying
deal.
technology can be used for goods. Like years ago, uh, you couldn't do that because access to digitally move your bank account to that account. You know, it was a difficult process.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's
Yep.
so easy just to hit a button and boom. And the amounts
Yep.
don't matter. It could be $1, it could be $2, whatever.
Yep.
And it's so easy for people. And it's so easy for me to order Domino's pizza and get fatter. It's too easy, and I'm thinking about a lawsuit, right?
Oh God.
Frickin' Domino's.
um, Here's an interesting thing. So you downloaded an album not long ago off my website,
Correct.
and you said that was a pretty straightforward process.
It was. It was real quick. Boom, done. Hassle whatsoever. I was surprised.
Yeah. So
Ugh.
our our agent that looks after all of our financial transactions off our website, indietunes.com, is PayPal. And I was going to use credit cards and everything else and accept credit cards and all. Oh, what a bunch of crap that is. What a lot of freaking work it is. So I thought, you know what?
Yes, it is.
I'll go with the leading payer and payee of the world, and that's PayPal. And the cool thing about working with PayPal is that you can attach whatever card you want to your PayPal account. You can attach your banking card, you can
Right.
attach a credit card, right? And you can build up PayPal credits and then, pay it out of your
Yeah.
PayPal account, whatever, right? But the cool thing about PayPal is that every purchase is guaranteed, right? So if somebody makes a purchase off my website and they don't get the product, I get a notification about that right away. I've never
Yeah, I
gotten
remember
one because
up a pay thing on my website in audio production, and I was going over the and I said, "Screw this, man. PayPal is so easy." So I went the
yeah.
PayPal route on there too.
Yeah, and now for the website, because of the number of transactions that are going to occur over time on the website, I went with the business version. So there is a charge. I mean, I lose. They charge me a pretty hefty surcharge for handling everything, but then I don't have to do anything.
Uh-huh.
All the financial pieces all looked after, right? All I got to do is look after who
And you
gets
can always
paid.
adjust adjust your prices. To, that's just
I
business.
and I pay the artist. They again, the way that we do it is that it's after those front end fees are taken off, right? So I mean, there's nothing hidden, right, in terms of all that stuff. And the cool thing about it is that it's all hassle free, which I like about it, right?
Yeah.
You
See.
can't- yeah, yeah. Yeah, so it's a great way to do it. So I mean, check out our music on our website. We're growing the artists weekly. I mean, literally, we're putting up new titles and new artists on the weekly these days. It's been so busy. I think in the last the last month we've brought on 8 new artists. So yeah, it's been busy. And we're uploading like catalogs from other artists that have previously put out other works, right? So
Yeah,
got another band that's released.
Place. It's a place where to gravitate towards.
Definitely. Top of the hour, we're going to talk about a couple of things to close out the show, some closing remarks. I think the whole thing about the AI is that it could be a useful tool if it's used right.
And I think the thing about
Would you agree
AI
with
is
that?
I think AI is the devil's butthole and to be avoided at all costs.
It's cold, heartless, has no feelings. It doesn't have a soul. It really doesn't have a soul. And I mean,
Does
it's like you
not.
said, how could AI ever sing the blues?
No.
Oh man. Well, that being said, I think it's probably time to say goodnight to everybody and say sayonara for
Yep.
another week. Thanks for joining me tonight, Bob.
You bet. I gotta drop off and do some weather updates since we're about to get hammered, and I want to make sure the public
Oh
is
yeah,
protected.
yeah. Keep me posted, and check those YouTube videos out, because that's how I found some of my troubleshooting for mechanical stuff. And sometimes it's pretty easy because they walk you through the whole process. Yeah,
It's either that or go
another
out and
thing.
pee on all the snow.
Do you have a compressor?
Yeah,
If you
I do.
if you're able to pull the carburetor apart and just blow from a distance, not right direct on it, but blow a little bit of compressed air on the jets, it might get the whatever dirt is in there out.
I don't know a carburetor from a spare tire. I suck at that.
Oh man, if I
The
was your
only
next
compressor
door neighbor, I'd have you up and running.
the only compressor I
I'd
know how
have
to
you up
set
and
is the
running
one in
in
my
minutes.
studio.
Well, that's a different kind of compression. We'll talk about that because compression does have a useful. It's a useful tool.
Yeah. With
It
you,
is
Rick, 100%. I'll
a big.
smash the son of a bitch. That'll fix it.
There used to be. Remember, there used to be a meme like that for there was a duck and he's got a big mallet and he's smashing the computer with a mallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It solves
How
everything.
how to fix your computer, right? Just technology sucks sometimes. It's for sure. Well, don't
Yep.
go out there and try
I
and
gotta go, man.
shovel that shit. Anyways, take care, buddy. We'll see you next time on the Indie Show. Bob, Kenny, we're out of here. Take care, everybody, and have a great week.
See you guys.